Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Collier. On the right hand side of the screen you can see my profile photo. This is a presentation for the TxDLA Accessibility Certification course, and in this presentation I will be explaining my final project. My project title is Guidelines for Creating Inclusive Training Plans. I am the sole author of the project. The place of implementation is at Sam Houston State University, also known as SHSU, and that's a 4-year public university located in Huntsville, Texas. And the people involved will be me and a couple of staff members who work in human resources as HR's professional development team. I want to take a moment to more clearly explain my project. From some of the comments I got previously, I think some people thought my project audience would be faculty members. This training is actually mostly for staff who work at the university, and I will give a little background. On the screen now, I am showing a presentation I recently gave to directors and other staff members who work in non-academic or administrative departments. That includes departments such as admissions, career services, registrar, financial aid, orientation, and departments like that. I did have a few faculty members who attended because the colleges do have administrative staff who need to be trained how to perform their jobs, but again, my presentation focused on how to create a training plan for staff members. Many departments on our campus don't have a workplace training plan in place at all. So this was a basic informational session to let them know the benefits of having a training plan, the types of programs and materials they could use, and tips for every step of the way, like planning, implementing, and evaluating their training. Now I am going to quickly run through each slide. I'm just kind of showing you what the presentation looked like. It's very basic. And here on slide 12 of the previous presentation, I discussed incorporating UDL, and I gave them some very basic accessibility considerations to think about, like color contrast, captioning, and using the accessibility tool when creating PDFs, because that is a widely created document on our campus and most people don't use that tool. I then talked about things like micro-learning and adult learning principles, and then I talked about evaluating the training plan, and I finished by showing them an example of a training plan and outline I had created for a previous department I worked on my campus. And again, you can see here in the next to last bullet on your screen that one of my recommendations was to consider universal design or inclusive design and accessibility when creating a training plan and materials. So that presentation was part 2 of a series HR hosted about hiring, onboarding, and training staff. I got really great feedback from that presentation because, again, a lot of departments don't have training plans in place, and they don't have any staff who are training professionals working in their department. So when they do have training, it's sometimes pretty bad, like just having their staff sit and shadow their coworkers, and that's it. That's exactly what happened to me when I started working in admissions about 10 years ago. No supplemental training, manuals, or any other job aids. Thankfully, I created a training manual for the admissions analysts, and they've kept up with it. This year, they even put together a formal training plan. They attended my training, and they're even about to create a video series. Anyway, for the final project from this course, I'm creating a continuation of that presentation where I go into the details of content creation, providing guidelines for actually creating the materials. To keep it simple and easily understood, I've called it Creating Inclusive Training Materials. This is something that the previous participants requested anyway because we didn't have a ton of time to talk about actually creating materials, so this has worked out perfectly. Our campus uses Microsoft products, so that is why I'm using PowerPoint and Word for my project. I really like Canva's designs as seen at canva.com, but from my understanding, they aren't as accessible. I did use them a lot to create cleanly designed videos throughout my instructional design courses, though, if anyone needs to adhere to Mayer's principles for multimedia learning and style. Anyway, moving on. I'm now showing a web page from our university, and as you can see, marketing has 2 PowerPoint templates they prefer that we use. I will be using the more plain version for my second presentation. On the screen, it's the one called White Template, as well as incorporating some things that I learned, like not creating extra text boxes and just sticking with the pre-made ones, because I committed that crime in my previous presentation before taking this accessibility course. And just to give you an idea of where this would be housed ultimately, I wanted to quickly show you our talent management system. And this is an online portal. It's maintained by our human resources department. And the previous presentation was done live, and then the recording was put here. So there are a few ways to navigate to that previous recording, but I'll just show you by viewing my personal transcript, since I accidentally enrolled in my course to show you this. So here it is. I've clicked on it. This is a very, very basic system, so there's not a whole lot that I can do with it. But when you click on it, you see the description here, and you see a button that allows you to launch the pre-recorded video. You launch the video, and as you can see, not much here, just the video that you can watch. Again, the description at the bottom, and then there's a button here in the middle underneath the video that says mark complete, so participants can mark that complete after they've watched the video. And that's it. It's again a very basic system, so what I can upload is just that video. So I plan to do this other session as a live training again, and then it will be uploaded. I also wanted to mention that I used a QR code at the end of this presentation along with a short URL to guide participants to a Google Drive where I had some handouts, job aids, and other resources for them to use after viewing the live presentation or attending in person. Now I will talk about the deliverables for the project. The first one is the actual presentation to be given to staff members on my campus. Since the final project for this course was due on the same day as my final video and final paper for my 2 courses for my doctoral program, I'm not quite finished with my presentation yet, but I should be able to upload it tomorrow, and I apologize for the inconvenience. I have already completed a couple of supplemental documents for my participants, which I am attaching to my discussion post. Since my participants are staff members and this isn't something they will do every day or look at every day, I thought a checklist would be good for them to have on hand, so I created a Word document with a simple checklist of accessibility items. I discussed on a post within this course somewhere that one of our primary colors is orange, so people tend to overuse it. I put on my checklist that if orange has been used, the size is large, because that's what it said within this accessibility course. But if anyone knows specifically how large it should be, please let me know. Then I, of course, used the headings feature when creating the document. I left it in Word format, especially since it can be easily edited if any of you have anything that I've left out that's important. My second document is a quick list of tools for checking accessibility. Most of our staff will be using things like PowerPoint, Word, and PDF, and some may house their training in Blackboard, which has the Ally tool within it. I also provided color checkers and the Wave accessibility evaluation tool. Again, this is a Word document, so I can add more items as needed, so let me know if you all have any must-have tools that you would recommend adding. Thanks for watching. I look forward to hearing your ideas, and again, I will post the PowerPoint tomorrow. It was great learning with you all throughout the course, and I know you're all going to do great things. Don't hesitate to reach out if you're ever in the area or if you ever need anything at all, and I'll maybe see you all later. Bye.